Hello everyone, it's Big Alski. Well, I've decided to dust off the microphone and make some walkthrough commentary videos for Ninja Gaiden 3 on Ultimate Ninja. A lot of people have complained about the difficulty, the cheapness, not only of Master Ninja, but especially Ultimate Ninja. So I've decided to, make these videos to help people get through it, to really just get through it. We're not going to be super flashy about it. We're going to use whatever weapons we need to use. We're going to use the Nimpo and the ultimate techniques whenever we need to do it. We are going to fight every fight. We don't skip fights on Ultimate Ninja. And, hopefully try to have some fun along the way. Now, one thing that I use a lot is the scythe. They put the scythe in there. It has great reach. Some of the bad parts about it is slow. It will get you hit, but on this first fight right here, it gives you the steel on bone starting out, so you might as well group the guys together to where you can kill them with the steel on bone. Now what I found, in my opinion, is people talked about chaining Nimpo, or excuse me, there's one thing right there that just bothered me that happened. I went to go OT the guy and it missed the OT. And even though the guy was right next to me, and then, the dog ended up flying, swallowing through me and killing me. But what I was going to say about the steel on bone is that people talked about, chaining UTs through the other different games. If you can start a steel on bone chain, here, you're pretty much invincible for a lot of the weaker enemies. The stronger enemies will even attack you through your steel on bone, especially the ninjas. So it's that you got to look out for on these harder levels. But, we'll get to that when it happens. What I'm doing now is just, grouping the enemies. You can throw a shuriken and, stun the guys to slide into them and, start your steel on bone chain. But I have a hard time. I usually slide in the wrong direction. My reflexes aren't what they used to be. I'm 45 years old now, so I'm a little bit slower than I used to be, but, we're still going to get through this. I recommend trying to, take out the dogs as much as or as fast as possible before focusing on the other enemies. And then, after you kill them, go take out the rocket launchers. I like to, jump on their heads using X plus A and then A to jump on their heads. Sometimes you can't do that. Especially with these barriers here. That move right there, the first one I did was kind of the slide Y. You can slide into enemies to pick them up. And basically I wanted to kill that guy so the rocket launcher guys would spawn. And then use my Nimpo and just take care of them. Again, we're just going to use whatever it takes to get through this. Now I'm looking around for rocket launcher guys. I know, they're still out there. There he is. But, that's the reason I saved my ultimate technique for that. And, I always kind of get a little greedy because sometimes you can OT those guys. And, it usually doesn't happen. You usually end up getting punished for it. And I should know not to do it, but I still try it. Another thing that I showed just a while ago was an on-landing 360Y, and that will, pick the guys up if it connects, and you can do that into an Azuna drop. And, again, I always try to follow up. It's easier to OT with the Dragon Sword than it is with the Scythe because it's pretty fast. You don't have to jump on their heads. It's just a habit that I'm into. And again, there's the slide Y. And if you notice, a lot of the times when I'm landing, you'll see me blocking. It's just a habit I'm in. Whenever I land in a certain situation, I know to block. Now, usually if you steel on bone in the air, like I just did, you want to land, with an on-landing 360Y. You can also cancel it out, with the shurikens. Again, I'm gonna, get to a safe distance here, change back over to my Dragon Sword. And you don't have to do that. It's just a preference that I have. But here's another thing that irritates me. Now I go to OT him, I miss him again, and then I finally get it. the thing that probably pisses me off the most in this game is the OTs not OTing when you want them to, and it really gets you in trouble. If you don't feel comfortable using the scythe as much, you can again slide Y into an Azuna drop if the enemies are close by, especially the weaker enemies, the heavier enemies, the shielded enemies. You won't be able to pick them up until they turn bloody. So, take out the dogs. Again, you can slide Y, but, why do that with a group of dogs when you can 360 Y with the scythe? You can also focus on, of course I missed my chaining of it, but, when there's enemies around and the dogs are around and you do your 360 Y with the scythe, you can kind of push in the direction of where the dog is, and Ryu will focus on that enemy. So I don't know if it's happened here or not. I kind of lose track of when it does happening, but if there's dogs and multiple guys out, that I will try to always take the dogs out first, and then I go for the rocket launcher guys. In this case, and there's me missing the jumping on the head when I could have just flying swallowed him. So I caused myself some damage that I didn't need to take. So, a lot of this commentary, once I've said it a few times, in the later chapters, it won't be necessary to really say again. A lot of people have trouble with the alchemists. I had trouble with them at first. This move with the claws, it's the Y move. It messed me up at first, and there, of course, Ryu just kind of stood there. I was trying to slide out of the way, and his unresponsiveness, sometimes I'm sure people will understand that when they, it's happened to them plenty of times. But that's a little frustrating too. And also, I like doing this with the dragon sword better, just because it connects. The flying swallow with the claws, you actually, after you jump on their heads, you have to press back towards the enemy, in order for it to connect, and I'll show that again later on. But anyway, forward Y is not the move you want to use there. It's actually Y. In Ninja Gaiden 2, it was forward Y. But you don't even have to break their shield. And there's something else too that'll get you in trouble. He won't stick with the enemy that he needs to stick with. The game's hard enough, and fighting through all of these little nuances, which at the time when it's happening to is not a nuance, but that's just a struggle that we're going to get through. A friend of mine talked about not having elixirs and not having health bars, and but he ended up beating Ultimate Ninja, and that's something that we're going to do here. We're going to prove that we don't need elixirs, we don't need health bars. We're going to, as cheap as the game is and as unfair and as unbalanced as it is, we're still going to do it. So I'm going to cut out a lot of the unnecessary scenes. I'm just going to show the fights. Like, this is a major fight right here. But, the Kuni climb, it was kind of cool at first. But after over and over and over again, it's not all that cool. But I wanted to, again, just show all the fights. So we're going to skip a lot of the unnecessary dialogue and the different scenes. And, you don't need to sneak up on this guy. You can just run up towards him and just, stab him. But, so for these fights right here, again, I'm going to focus on getting the rocket launcher guys out first. Changing over the weapons, unfortunately, it takes time. I missed my X+A, so I didn't get my instant kill because I'd already hit him. Again, that right there, combo, you almost have to do it almost immediately. And, I didn't do that, so that's the reason I didn't get the combo kill. But, switch over to the scythe, you can see how long it takes. Here's some great moves right here. The skill is just beyond belief sometimes when I watch these videos, at how lacking I am in it sometimes. But, we're still going to trudge through all this. But going back to the steel on bone, you know, you can see I killed a lot of guys there. Again, switch over. I'd rather do that to OT these guys instead of using the scythe. The scythe will, you know, it's so slow, they'll grab you out of your OT animation and kill you. So I'm going to switch over to the dragon sword to, you know, only focus on really the red beret guys. I call them the Ya guys. You know, it's not very skillful in terms of, you know, fighting them, you know, outright, but on Ultimate Ninja, you know, their one neck grab where they sling around your neck, you know, will pretty much kill you unless you have an extremely full health bar. So we're just going to, you know, make sure we kill them, you know, first in this. If the rocket launcher guys come out, you know, we're going to fight those guys and, you know, take care of those guys first. So in order of priority, see, there was the slide Y and it didn't take. But on the heavier enemy guy. So, you know, in terms of priority for me, rocket guys first. There's another miss OT, so let me just nimpo before something bad happens, because it usually does. But, you know, rocket launcher guys, then, you know, the beret Ya guys, and, you know, there's something too right there. You kind of have an idea where the rockets are out, so, you know, I usually try to, you know, run away before I head back towards them, because there's nothing like, you know, standing in one place and then, you know, get rocketed in the face. You know, one thing about the commentary, I haven't done it in such a long time, so, you know, it's going to take me, you know, a few, you know, chapters to get through it and, you know, get you know, back to the swing of things. So, you know, if I double speak a little bit right now, you know, just forgive me so we can get through it. But, you know, again, changing weapons and singling these guys out, you know, it is going to take us a little bit longer on our chapter times, you know, maybe versus some of the other people who are, you know, fighting it a certain way. But again, these videos are going to be made to, you know, do whatever it takes to, you know, get through the game. And switching weapons a lot is, you know, just a part of it for me to make it easier. My hat is off to all the people who beat Master Ninja with just the dragon sword. That's pretty impressive. You know, the downloaded scythe and the claws really made it. There it goes. You know, missing my OT and you know, getting grabbed for it. I knew the guy was about to die, and I still tried it anyway. So some of this stuff is my fault. But again, try to single out the beret guys. You know, and kill all them first. Usually the weaker enemies you can flying swallow like that. One thing I didn't do was, you know, show the claws on how to use them properly in terms of killing the armored guys, which I will show later on. But I think I show the on landing. No, okay, I'm going back to the scythe. Again, on landing 360, let them run into it. The scythe guys, I mean the armored guys with the scythe, you can steel on bone them in the air, but they almost have to be bloodied, you know, to do that. I know, like slide Y, with, you know, shuriken and then slide Y. There's an example of it right there without the shuriken. He was already bloodied, so I could slide into him. But, you know, I usually miss my slide Y or slide a little bit off. So again, that's something that I really kind of need to work on. You can see it kind of slowing down. You know, that's something too that's a big problem. You know, you start inputting the combos, and, you know, because of the lag, it doesn't, you know, it doesn't take, you know, when you want it to. Now, the reason I switch over to the dragon sword instead of the UT to do the UT is because I know the dragon sword's going to connect. You know, I've sat there and tried to UT people with the scythe, and miss everybody or only kill one person. I'm sure there's a few times I think that I'll use the scythe UT, but for the majority of the time, I'm going to use the dragon sword. And again, I got hit out of the air with that knife. Let me go ahead and use my Nimpo, so nothing bad will happen. See, there's my luck. Looking for the rocket launcher, guys, and jump right into a rocket. Again, some of this commentary after you do it, it's all going to be, well, I know what he's doing, so, if I don't say much sometimes, it's because there's really nothing to say at this point. Like I said, there it goes, missing it again. Boy, I can't tell you how bad that pisses me off, to miss that, because, you can get punished really quick by doing that. And see, I don't have to jump on their head. It's just something that, I'm used to doing. You can actually go right at those guys. Just X+A to target them, and then, flying swallow at them. Now there was a move right there. That's the on-landing 360Y. Right there into an Azuna drop. You can pick those guys up doing that. Don't try to go fight those guys. If you have a bunch of them together, just kind of run away. And then there I go trying to get an extra OT out of it and get hurt a little bit. But, don't try to fight them head on. Let them chase you and let them run into your 360. Now on Ultimate Ninja, the alchemists come out first. This is how I really perfected, or not really perfected, but I learned how to use the claws. Again, the Y to knock them down, and then the forward Y to pick them up to a Azuna drop. And then of course it doesn't always connect. There you go. So Y, it's not forward Y. Again, in Ninja Gaiden 2, it was forward Y in order to do that move. And then I just missed it right there. And that's what happens when you miss. Bad things are going to happen when you miss your combo. I mean, it's bad enough as it is that you have to struggle through all the game not doing what you want it to do. But then, when you mess up yourself too, you can really get punished. So the good thing about, these alchemists is once you OT them, it fills up their meter. Now, if you notice, this guy kind of stayed farther back. And that's the guy I'm going to go ahead and focus on. Get the guy that's farther back. And when you OT them, that really builds up your Nimpo meter. You're still on bone, and OTs, build that up. So the alchemists, kill a few of them and then Nimpo them. Now it says the Nimpo 360. I get Nimpo points, the 360 Nimpo points, and then I get the points for the enemies when I kill them. But basically that keeps me from getting any instant death or obliteration techniques, or so I'm still getting some points, just not the most I can get. Now here again, I'm trying to focus on the yaw guys as much as possible. Whenever I hit the wall, it's always better to come down with Y, because you don't want to just land, because they'll just grab you sometimes whenever you land. That's another bad thing too, is not knowing where the enemies are, and you try to jump towards them, and then all of a sudden they grab you. Now, if you notice, I try not to directly slide, at the guy. I'm looking around. See, I see that guy off to the left, so I try, again, slide away from him. I never try to go exactly into the guys, because, I've been grabbed so many times doing that. I wish you could rotate the camera while you're doing all of this so you can see where the enemies are. You just kind of have to look, there's another missed, X+A, and it almost got me punished. But I wish you could rotate the camera to, you know, see where the next enemy is. But, you know, always be looking around and, you know, trying to, you know, understand which enemy is where, and that'll, you know, help you get through it too. And, you know, this is a move that I used and a lot of people use to get through the game right there. You know, no need to try to wear them down, because they'll block you, and they'll even come out of your, you know, come out of the block or through your, you know, hitting and, you know, your combo and grab you. You know, I've sat there and done moves with the scythe, long combo moves like XXXYY, and then just walk right through it all and just grab me and kill me. But again, you could, you know, chain the, or do the, see, I'm getting him to chase me, and then I'm X plus A-ing back towards them with the on-landing 360Y. Again, you can use the scythe on this, you know, on those guys, and, you know, just do the on-landing, and, you know, just keep, you know, doing that until they get bloodied. So, you know, it's really up to you. If you do it that way, and you pull them up in the air, you know, you will, for the most part, get a steel on bone. Sometimes you will, you know, kill the enemy and won't get any points for them, other than, you know, just whatever they're worth for the actual bonus. You know, we're not, you know, going to worry about, you know, a big score right here. You know, I'm not going to, like, go after, you know, I've already, you know, finished the game, and, you know, I'm number 2 on the leaderboard. You know, I'm not, should be number 1, but, you know, I'll get into that, you know, later on. I'm not going to try to beat that score. Again, this is just for, you know, getting through the game, you know, showing the thought process. Again, notice I'm going after all, you know, the rocket launcher guys first. You know, it takes a little bit longer time, but, you know, it's safe. And, you know, again, this video is to really just help people, you know, get through the game and really survive the game. You know, that could have been really bad right there, but and it was bad. You know, people see these videos, and you know, for me, it takes, you know, multiple tries. You know, for the most part, I surely don't get through them on, you know, 2 or 3 tries. You know, sometimes it takes me, you know, 10 tries. You know, it's a matter of you know, luck and, you know, and skill too. You know, to an extent. You know, but I'm not a very, you know, aggressive player, you know, and I'm just going to, you know, again, show in this video what it takes, you know, to help me get through it. See, again, I always land, try to with the 360, you know, so you don't get grabbed when you get land, or whenever you land. So again, I think, you know, I was talking earlier about, you know, people saying, oh, you know, you can just UT your way through, you know, fights, you know, on Ninja Gaiden Black and Ninja Gaiden, you know, Ninja Gaiden 2, and, you know, some of these steel on bone fights, you can do that too. See, again, OT and missed, and that will just get you punished, and it did get me punished quite a few times. But I have to do it. I don't know why I have to do it, you know. I do think I missed a few of them. There's a guy right there that I didn't see whenever I did my Nimpo, but you know, I'm still always going to try to do it. It's stupid, but I still try it. See, again, I could probably take those guys out and Azuna dropped them and all that stuff, but again, I'm going to use the weapons, you know, that it gave me. Again, you can slide whenever they're bloody or shurikens, and but I always see, there's a perfect example. I slid, you know, I sat there and hit my Y to start it, and went to the wrong guy, and then I got grabbed. You know, I'm saving my Nimpo for the alchemists that come out here. So that, and boy, I tell you, that's, again, I jumped too early. You know, just knowing where it is, I really kind of got lucky here. And there's the slide Y that I was talking about. You can slide into them and then a Zuna drop. And I also kind of run around a lot to zoom in, or to move the camera to see where the other enemies are. But now that the alchemists are out, you can running YY, or I think it's running XX with the dragon sword and wear them down. I mean, there's a lot of different ways. You can jump on their heads and come back with YY with the scythe. You can jump into them with the 360Y with the scythe. There's a lot of different ways you can kill that, but this way, if you can really get it to work smooth, it's good. Of course, I don't always make it look smooth. And then some of the moves don't help. Also, not to make excuses about my gameplay, but I just got through playing Mass Effect, and this is my first time coming back to this game in almost almost a month. So I'm a little rusty, but this is going to be it. This is the first, to the first save point. I'm going to make the videos in different segments. So we'll see you in day 1, part 2, hopefully in a few days. Thanks a lot, and hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you later. Thanks.